What is going on? It truly is the best time of the year. Christmas jumpers out. It's only the 2nd of December. Some of you probably haven't even got your trees up. Maybe you hate Christmas. Maybe you don't even celebrate Christmas. From FPL, it is the best time of the year. We have already finished one game week, and we are less than 24 hours until the next one. Also, the Tash is gone, finally. That was straight off on the 1st of December, as soon as possible. Just want to say thanks again to everyone that's donated. I think we nearly hit €1,100, which is incredible. Obviously, on the last stream, we got up to 750. And that has just continued to come in the last couple of days. So thanks very much for that. I won't keep banging on about that. Don't worry. The super chats are back for anyone that's happened to miss that. And yeah, what another interesting game week with now loads of decisions to make. And like I said, only 48 hours to make them. Lots to talk about. Aubameyang, KANE, Aguero. Lots of people now not talking about Salah and Sterling. I guess a lot of people got them in this week, but suddenly Aubameyang gets a brace, KANE scores a penalty, and no one's talking about Salah and Sterling anymore. Son, Ali, Ericsson, are they considerations, etc. So lots to talk about. There's 5 polls, top right hand corner. Click that little eye, hover over that little eye, click into it, and vote on all the options there. We've got KANE, Aubameyang or Aguero, best Spurs midfielder, your game week 15 captain. I think captaincy could be all over the place this week. Who to ditch first out of Hazard and Salah, I think. And should we even go with more than one premium forward? Suddenly people are looking at having KANE and Aubameyang, Aguero and KANE, whoever it might be. But lots of people considering that. So lots to talk about. I'll quickly show you my game week. I don't want to talk about... I'm going to try not to talk about my team too much. I'm in a position where I'm not too sure what to do, to be honest. I've got plenty of avenues, and let's just switch. Basically, this is what I got this week. I can actually refresh this. Hang on, I set this up earlier for the bonus points room. So 61 total. Aguero vice captain obviously didn't play. Sterling captain, which was nice. I was very happy with that. Martial rubbish. Wouldn't have mattered really if he hadn't come on. I only got KANE 2 points anyway, so pretty happy with the week overall. Played Doherty ahead of Richarlison in the end, which worked out, but Richarlison came on anyway, so it didn't even matter. So yeah, a few options. Aguero's doubt kind of makes my decision a lot more trickier because I kind of wanted him for this game. If he was just rotated and I thought he was going to be back for Watford, I'd want to keep him. But with the doubts, I don't know if I can. And there is no news really at the moment, apart from he's possibly training. I think Jamie Jackson said he was training today, so he could be back in contention for Watford. So I'm thinking of getting him. But yeah, I got 61 points, 901. It was a green arrow of about 2,000 places. Won't dwell too much on that. This is how I'm looking for next week. Now, before this game week started, I thought I could maybe save a transfer this week. Got Sterling in. I got Salah, potential captain option. Yes, Martial now looks bad. Although, I guess Mourinho did kind of say that he wouldn't probably play 3 games in a week. So you'd expect him back against Arsenal, maybe play against Fulham as well. But yeah, I actually think I could possibly not make a transfer this week. If Aguero misses out, then it gets tricky because Dean Garner he wasn't even in the squad at the weekend. Do I really want to play Jimenez when people are getting KANE and Sané and all sorts in? So lots of things to consider. The Sané assist, I mean, it is what it is. Like if you're a Sané owner, fair enough. You're probably a bit frustrated by that, but I did tweet, and it was kind of tongue-in-cheek, but I didn't think you could definitely say that was a shot. And obviously the fact that I think the Premier League showed it as a shot themselves, or said that in a piece they wrote or something, didn't help the matters. But I mean, what else can you do about that? There's no guarantee he was shooting. No one knows. Surprised they didn't benefit the doubts of the attacker, but Not a lot you can do about it. And, you know, it looks worse because of the Van Dijk thing, but I think Van Dijk was definitely shooting, even if it was a rubbish shot. So, yeah, it was an interesting weekend for that. Lots of Origi questions. Obviously sarcastic, because we ain't going to get Origi. Yeah, lots of people got clean sheets this week. Playing 4 or 5 at the back. If you had Fabianski and co, and your goalkeeper, some people actually got 5 or 6 defensive returns, which is really nice. I actually set up again this week to play 4 at the back, but once I make my transfers, I probably won't do it. Jimenez has to play. I don't know about against Chelsea. Just not sure about that. And who would I bench? My defenders all look pretty good this week, I think, although they are playing away. Ryan keeps blank, and I'd love to get rid of Ryan, but for the next couple of weeks, I think I've got to keep. Yeah, we're kind of over the Origi jokes. What was Pickford doing though? Like, seriously, the ball was going over, and he keeps the ball in. What's with all the KANE and Aubameyang love fest? City players are what you want to have and captain. I kind of agree. I feel like KANE gets a penalty, one penalty, and scores it. Aubameyang gets, maybe to be fair, Aubameyang got 2 goals and a brace, one of which was a penalty as well. KANE gets a penalty, and we seem to have forgotten about Man City players who, again, scored 3 goals against a team that's supposedly been... I mean, they have been pretty good this season, but they've conceded a fair few goals. But another 3 goals for Man City without Aguero, without David Silva. They just score 3 goals against everyone, apart from top 6. So yeah, I feel like City players are being overlooked again. I mean, I got Sterling. I may even captain Sterling this week. People telling me he's going to be rested. I'm assuming that's the same people that said he was going to be rested against Bournemouth. I don't think there's a guarantee that he's rested. Why couldn't he play that game and Chelsea and then have a week off? You'd think that Mahrez will come in at some point, but there's just no guarantee. And obviously the hope would be that he either plays or he doesn't against Watford and doesn't come on. But I'm generally thinking about captaining him. And Aubameyang versus KANE, I mean, people have been eyeing up. I think Kane's so hard to call because he's not really been... He hasn't been, actually. It's not even not really. He hasn't been giving us the returns for his price. But he also has not had a fixture run like this. And I don't buy into this. You know, we've seen him blank against weak opposition before. We've seen him score a hat-trick twice in a row against weak opposition as well. And Spurs themselves are quite hard to judge because obviously they were pretty bad today, but they were really good against Chelsea. And they're not going to play top 6 teams over the next kind of 5-6 fixtures. And they have only just got Ali Eriksson and Son back, who I think are their best 3 attackers with KANE. So it's hard to judge them because you've not seen this Spurs team for the whole season. Aubameyang, are we sure he's going to start every week? I don't know if I put much money on that. And, of course, lots of players are going to get rotated over this Christmas period. But KANE, you know, you'd probably put a bit of money on him not getting rested. You know, once, if that. Probably not even that, to be honest. So, the other thing to consider between those two as well is the other options in the team. So for Arsenal, I don't think... You've obviously got Lacazette, that's a little bit cheaper. But again, he takes up a striker spot. And I mean, could Lacazette play and Aubameyang get benched? Or will Aubameyang get moved back to the left? It's hard to say. The thing about Spurs is you can go for one of their midfielders. If you really want to get an attacker in for those good fixtures, you can get a midfielder who could score the same as KANE for a lot less money. Whereas for Arsenal, you're not really getting any of their midfielders. Mkhitaryan and Iwobi is just probably not going to happen. Ramsey, if he was guaranteed to play, you'd probably look at him. But that doesn't look like to happen. Ozil, I mean, where is he? So you're not really looking... I think if you're wanting kind of 2 players from those teams, then you go Aubameyang plus a Spurs mid, or Lacazette plus a Spurs mid. But again, KANE just hasn't had these fixtures. And he's Mr. Reliable, but I think if I've got Sterling and KANE, and they've both got good fixtures, why would I not captain Sterling? So the game weeks were, let's have a quick look, right? Let's remind ourselves, because everyone's talking about Arsenal fixture swings and Spurs fixture swing, and I've done the same. I've talked about it and I've looked at it, but City's fixtures are still really good, okay? And let's bear in mind they score 3 goals against most teams. So if you've got one of their attackers or 2 or 3, they're probably going to be involved. So Watford away, then Chelsea away. Fair enough, you're not going to captain Sterling in game week 16. That's a tough fixture. Then it's Everton at home, Palace at home. Yeah, captain them. Although Everton did look really good today. Leicester away, Southampton away. You'd probably captain him in them too. Or at least he's a very good option. And then Liverpool at home is probably the other one you wouldn't do it in. So, I mean, I don't think... People are talking about KANE and Aubameyang as if they're set and forget options. And I don't think they are. And if you think that KANE... If you're going to get KANE in, genuinely, and captain him... I wouldn't say every single week, but if you're going to captain him most weeks from now until, the end of Christmas or whenever it might be, when these good fixtures run out, then yeah, maybe he's worth that 12.3 million. But I'm looking at my team and thinking, do you know who it's missing? Sané. That's who it's missing. The guy that starts and gets returns every game for 9.4 million or whatever he is now. It's going to be scary going without KANE because you know what he can do. And I know that loads of people in the top 10k and wherever are going to get him in. And he's going to be captained as well. So whoever I captain has to beat him. But, Salah's got Burnley away. I think Burnley conceded something like 20 shots. I saw it on the Fantasy Football Scout article. I can't remember exactly how many it was. But something like 20 shots against Crystal Palace. Now, I know Liverpool haven't been great this year. Oh, sorry. I know Liverpool, didn't look necessarily fantastic today. And they've not really been the attacking force they were last year. But surely even Salah can score against 29 shots. Wow. Okay. That's incredible. Surely even Salah can score against Burnley, even if it's an away game. So is KANE against Southampton at home that much better than Salah against Burnley away? If you've already got Salah, I'm not saying you bring him in. Otherwise, you could just captain a Man City player, I think. So I think the rotation draws people into KANE. The fact that he might not be rested in penalties as well. I don't know if I'm gonna go for him. I'm certainly not going for 2 premium forwards because I think there's just so much more value in midfield. So I might run through a couple of different options I've looked at. But basically, Aguero and maybe not play. I'm going to probably wait for news and hope that there's some inkling that Aguero will start because I would like to have him this week. Gaurav, thanks very much for the super chat there. Aguero to KANE and Hazard to Sané for free. I mean, that does sound pretty good, yeah. I like that. If you want KANE, that is. I don't think we're going to get a yes, Aguero is going to start from Pep. And he did say that Gabriel Jesus is going to be very, very important on Tuesday. So I think I can see why people are getting rid of Aguero. It's very hard to justify keeping him, I think, at this point. Especially with, the Chelsea game afterwards. KANE is easily replaceable with Aubameyang if it all goes wrong. If you get KANE in, I'll tell you now, you will not replace him with Aubameyang for the whole of Christmas because look how many people, as soon as Salah blanked today, it was like, well, he's got Burnley next, he'll do well. Let's just look at KANE's fixtures. Not that he's going to score, right? He's not going to score no points over this thing. Don't think anyone's saying that. Let's say he blanks against Southampton. Well, he's got Leicester next. That's a good fixture. He blanks against Leicester. Well, it's Burnley next. They've just conceded 29 shots to Palace. We'll keep him there. Well, blanked against Burnley. He's got Everton away next. Yes, they've been good defensively, but this could be the fixture. Blanks again. Well, it's Bournemouth at home. You know what I mean? That's what's going to happen if you've got KANE. But look, he's not going to blank that many times over that many fixtures. Over that many good fixtures. No, I think no one is saying he's going to blank. It's whether he's going to be worth 12.3 million and how often you're going to captain him. And if you're going to captain him a lot, then he's worth 12.3. That's why I've had Salah recently, because he has been consistent. And I didn't captain him this week because I thought that Man City player was better, and they were. Oh god, Howard, thanks very much. Any thoughts on this wildcard team? Fabianski looks... I mean, West Ham's fixtures are incredible. If I could switch Ryan to Fabianski right now, I would. Kane and Aubameyang and Arnautovic. That's a very expensive front line. Sterling. I mean, that looks pretty solid. I mean, Pereira mops at the bonus. Salah and Sterling, amazing. Felipe Anderson, Luke asking about West Ham assets. I mean, he's in proper form. It's very different, that team. You've got the two Man City assets and you've got really good captain options in Kane and Aubameyang. So that looks like a pretty solid wild card to me. Thanks for that, Howard. Is Lacazette the better Arsenal option now he's back from injury? He's the main penalty taker and much cheaper. I think with Arsenal, maybe there's some Arsenal fans in the chat that can answer better than me, but I mean, do we really know who's going to start for them? Do we know if they're going to go back to playing Lacazette and Aubameyang, or will they just keep up with one striker? I think it's pretty difficult, to be honest, and that's kind of what puts me off them a little bit. Obviously, Aubameyang's been in really good form, so my instinct is, why would they drop him? But when you got Lacazette's done well as well, so when you got two forwards like that, it's not like Kane and and the backup at Spurs, who I can't even think of his name off the top of my head. Llorente, sorry, yeah, Llorente. It's not like that there at Arsenal, so it's really difficult. Look how Arsenal and Spurs rotate over the next month. Surely a Kane and Aubameyang combo shouldn't be off the cards. Southampton, Huddersfield, Burnley again, Bournemouth, Wolves. I mean, it's great. Yeah, I think FPL Centre was saying the same thing. I mean, that's great. Kane and Aubameyang, sure, but Kane's not really done the business so far, and Aubameyang, you're not sure if he's going to start. And you're basically just discounting Man City players, and I find that strange. And Man City have done nothing to make us think they won't keep scoring 3 goals a game. And, of course, at some point, Sterling and Salah are going to blank. It's going to happen. But how often? Probably not that much. Bring in a Liverpool defender. I think Liverpool... I don't know if I'd be bringing a Liverpool defender, although they've got so many clean sheets. I mean, they're like a fortress at home, but their next home fixtures are Man United, Newcastle and Arsenal. And in the kind of next, is it 7? Yeah, they've also got Man City away. So I personally don't think now is the time to be bringing in Liverpool defenders necessarily. I feel like there's probably other stuff you can do that's more beneficial. But, I mean, the way the defence is, they are going to keep clean sheets the majority of the time. I just think if there's a chance that they're going to give up some clean sheets, it's going to be over kind of the next 6-7 fixtures. Yeah, sorry, Jerome. We started at 9 today. Lots of FPL stuff to get through, and probably going to have to do some other kind of recording after this, so I had to start at 9. Lacazette and Aubameyang will definitely start against United. I mean, we don't know that. Whilst on Saturday, one of them will start. We don't know that. It could just be 1 against United and 2 against Huddersfield. Is it time to take a serious look at Huddersfield and Cardiff assets? I mean, my instinct to that is no. Just no. I mean, I watch Cardiff. I don't want to ever have to watch a Cardiff game, if I'm honest. So if I get in the Cardiff player, Patterson or whoever it might be, Hoylett, Murphy, I'm going to have to watch Cardiff, and it doesn't sound appealing. I mean, long throws, going for corners, free kicks is like their bread and butter. So scrappy. It's just ugly to watch. I mean, fair enough, turning the game around and getting the win. Obviously, they can't compete with the bigger sides, and obviously if you're a Cardiff fan, it must have been a great victory at the weekend, but I just don't think I could bring myself to bring in Cardiff players and feel like I have to watch them. And Huddersfield the same. I mean, who are you really going for there? Maybe Schindler or someone like that. Defensive assets. They've been tight enough recently, but I don't think they've done enough where I suddenly think, right, I've got to look at who their options are and start bringing them in. Callum Wilson. Maybe I got it wrong. There. 2 goals in the last 4, I think, with hard opposition. And actually, Bournemouth, if you've not got Bournemouth players, if you've not held on over this period, the fixtures aren't that bad now in the short term. So up until Christmas, Huddersfield, Wolves and Brighton in the next 4. Now, it does include Liverpool as well. So I've actually looked at getting Callum Wilson in. I know. But sometimes you have to hold your hands up and say, maybe I got it wrong. Maybe I should bring him in. What are the moves I'm considering? I can go through them. I'll go through them in a bit. I'm just conscious of talking about my team too much. I mean, happy that happy that you're happy that you went at Wilson over Arnautovic. I mean, Arnautovic, so annoying that Chico scored the 2 goals. But Cardiff at home, got to be points in that, surely. If Lacazette and Aubameyang start, who to go for? I mean, I think if they're both going to start, you go for Lacazette, right? I wouldn't bet money on Aubameyang outscoring him by that much, and he's cheaper, so. Do you know who I want from Spurs? Am I planning to get a Spurs player? Do you know who I want? Son. That's who I really want. And every time I see someone tweet about X player might not start this week, I think you're right. They might not start. And do you know what? They might also start. We just don't know. And so if I speak about Son, I know people are going to tell me, well, he could be rotated. And I just don't think I care. I think he is. If they're all going to play, if Kane, Son, Ali and Eriksen are all going to play, I think he can match them for a lot less money. Not maybe a lot less money than Ali, but a lot less money than Kane. And I just don't see why he won't get regular enough. I'm not saying he'll start every game, but regular enough starts for Spurs. I think he offers. I think he's a bit like Lucas Moura in that he adds pace to that attack. He can draw defenders away. He can get in behind, etc. And he does miss as well. Like, I'm not saying he's completely clinical, but I just think he's. It's almost like he's got more chemistry with Kane than Lucas Moura is. It's like Lucas Moura seems to just get in the way of Kane, whereas Son seems to complement him. Now, I don't know why that is. Maybe that's not actually true, and that's just what it seems because I've got a bit of a love-in for Son. But yeah, I just feel like Son and Kane works better than Moura and Kane. And I love him. I've got such good memories of him. I think 8.3 million, he can make a mockery of that. He hasn't had regular starts so far this year. Goal and assist in the last 2 games. Tough opposition. Obviously, the assist today was a bit lucky. It was a penalty. Probably shouldn't have had that, I think. I saw one quick glimpse of it. It looked like it was lucky that he got the penalty, but I don't know. And then there's Matthew Higgins. Kane loves a Christmas hat-trick. I honestly, that is in the back of my mind. Double hat-trick last year. I mean, that would hurt. There's no doubts about it. That would hurt. You know, am I expecting Sterling? You know, Sterling and Sané are going to return consistently. Do I expect them to go out and get a double hat-trick? Although, to be fair, they've got pretty damn good scores recently. Son leaves in January. Yeah, he's only a short-term pick. I mean, you know, does Poch play Son loads because he knows he's going to lose him soon? Maybe, but then he probably doesn't want to overdo it, where he then gets himself injured while he's away. And also, I suppose you've got to take into account that if they're going to lose Son for a bit, maybe he'll actually give Lamela and Lucas Moura, when, you know, if they're fit and good to go, a bit more time, because, you know, if they suddenly get used to having Son in the team, then he goes, that could hurt him as well. But January is a long way away. And we have had this before, where he's played up until January and then gone. And I think actually there was one point where he was allowed to go a bit later so he could play one of the Premier League games. But there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games up until January the 1st. So let's have a quick look. I don't know when Son has to leave. Let's have a look. Starts on the 5th of January. So he could potentially play in that Cardiff game. Whether he would or not, I don't know. So there's potentially 7 fixtures before he leaves. So I think that's one thing to remember over Christmas. A lot of people saying, someone's only out for a week or two, or he's going to be away in January. There's a lot of game weeks before that happens. I won't do the maths now, but that's over a sixth of the season that he's available for before he goes away. So yeah, I'm looking at it. Okay, let me show you one of about 7 different things that I've looked at so far this week. For next week, sorry. Here we go. So Aguero, if he's going to be out, he does cause me a pain. Martial, I mean, it's not even Martial that I have a problem with, it's Man United. They're just so bad. Like, 5 at the back, for Christ's sake. 5 at the back, Matic, Herrera, McTominay and Fellaini. Like, it's... I like Herrera, by the way. Should play more. So here's one thing. Right, we go cheap up top. 3 cheapies up top. Now, Sané would be the one that I would look at. And he probably will score against Watford. But it is Chelsea away. And I know Chelsea have maybe been a bit lucky with the amount of goals they've conceded. But that's still probably going to be a tight enough game, I would say. So that does put me off a little bit. So this could be what would happen this week, right? So you get Wilson in, you get Son, you have 3.8 million in the bank. Now what can you do with that? You keep Salah a bit longer and get Sané in. Obviously this wouldn't be all this week, but I've still got 1.3 million. I still don't think that Salah is probably worth the money. So I don't know. For now, that could be it. Potentially, could even turn into like 5 in midfield and just pick 2 of these front 3 every week. So that's something I've looked at. I really do like Son, and it also lets me. So I could keep then Richarlison for 2 weeks, Newcastle and Watford, but then he has Man City away and Spurs at home. So I switched to Sané in 17 after the Chelsea game. That's something I've looked at. Okay. Or Son could just be Sané now, right? The other thing is to keep Aguero if I think he's going to start, and just get Sané in now, Sané and Son in now, and then so get them this week. That's Salah out for a hit though. I think Salah's probably going to be my captain this week, unless I go Sterling. So that's another option. Son and Sané in if Aguero is going to play. The problem is I'm probably not going to do this one because how will I know whether Aguero is going to play or not? And it's not a rotation worry. If it was just worried about rotation, I would just make this. I think I would make this move and leave Aguero in, but it's possibly out through injury, so that's just a bit different. Otherwise, it's obviously getting KANE in, but the reason is KANE. Obviously, I can get Aubameyang for free, but then you're getting Aubameyang in versus Man United. I just don't want to do that, even though Man United have been awful. So obviously, KANE is the other move. The problem I have with this one, I've got problems with all my transfers. Is how do I fund it? I've got to fund it with 1 million, right? So I could get rid of Salah and keep Martial, but I'm not really fond of Martial right now. If I take out Martial, I've only got 6.6 to spend, so I could get Schürrle, someone like that. But then so basically my predicament is Salah is holding all the money, right? If I take out Salah to fund KANE, I'm still stuck with Martial. Really, I want to make a triple move, but I don't want to take a -8. So I'm tempted to stick this week because I just can't do what I want with the transfers I've got. This would be what I want to do. Is that because essentially if I fund KANE with this guy, whoever it is, people are saying Brooks in the chat, Schürrle, whoever it might be for 6.6. As soon as I sell Salah, which I think I would do, I don't think I would hold Salah and KANE long term because there's just too much money. So I would want Salah to unlock the money to upgrade this player. So it's basically an extra transfer down the line, and that's what I don't like. It's what I don't like. So I mean, this could be a 4.5 million player maybe that's going to play, and then eventually I switch Salah and Diangana, but I'm just not happy with it at all. I'm more interested, I think, in going Son. Yeah, I don't know. If you're considering Wilson, then surely Fraser makes sense for the Marshall spot. No, because I want different midfielders. I don't necessarily want different strikers. Mane, nope. Not Mane. There's a Sadio Mane to be assessed. He's sitting in the dressing room and has a cut on his foot 20 minutes before the end of the game. This is what Klopp has said, I think. I don't know how it happened, but it's a very painful thing. He didn't tell me, otherwise maybe he would have changed differently. Okay. So maybe he'll be out the next game. So yeah, I'm not too sure which way around I'm going to play this. I may just get Son in and captain Salah, to be honest. Get Wilson or Mitrovic, probably Wilson. But plenty of options. That's my team anyway. I'm kind of a bit stuck. I don't want to take a -8 to take out Salah and get KANE. That just sounds too. That's just too much. Salah is the huge sticking point to the moves we want to make. Yeah, for sure. I think almost my favourite one is Sané and Son in for Martial and Salah. The problem with that is, who do I captain? I mean, I guess I would captain Sterling or Son. And then the week after, maybe do Aguero to Aubameyang, but I'm still not sure about him. Just because I just don't know if he's going to play every week. Why Son and not a slightly more expensive Spurs? I just love Son. Just love him. Aubameyang has scored braces in 2 bench cameos. I mean, he has, but realistically, how often is he going to do that if he gets benched? We have you to ask about our transfers. Who do you ask? I don't know. I might stick out on Twitter. I'll end up making a decision. I'll probably use the next 48 hours to fully before I make any moves. Aguero's dropping. Doesn't matter to me. I think I got him for 11. He's 11.5. So if he drops, I don't lose any money. Maybe what I should have done is kept Hazard and drop Salah, have some money. More points and I'd have more money in the bank just to upgrade Martial. Ali over Ericsson over Son over Moura. Yeah, I mean, I could go for Ali instead of Son. Martial to Anderson. Not a bad shout. Let's have a look. Is that all that Aubameyang's missed? I thought he'd missed more than that. Let's have a look. Maybe you got me there. Yeah, fair enough. He's only missed 2 games and he got 2 braces in those games. Yeah, that is pretty good. Aubameyang was my shout for top scorer, top forward this year. Points-wise, so let's see. Alonso is... Look, I don't think Alonso's getting dropped for 1 bad game. Surely not. Balbuena from West Ham, a cheap defender. Yep, looking good for West Ham. Why not drop Alonso for a lower price defender to fund your transfer? The thing with Alonso is, I know he's 6.9. Well, he's 7.1. I can sell him for 6.9. I must have got him in at 6.7. A lot being said about Alonso because today he was rubbish, but in the last 5 games he's got scores of 11, 6, 8, 1 and 6. I mean, he's returned 4 out of the last 5. 1 double-figure haul there. What's not to like, really? And then going forward, okay, it's 2 away games to Man City at home in the next 3, but can see points coming up over Christmas for him. Alonso could get rested. I just don't see it, personally. I mean, he could get rested. I mean, I feel like we're going to say that about everyone for the whole of Christmas. He could get rotated, you're right. But then he plays the next 6 or 7. Do you know what I mean? Marko Natovic could get a rest. Sure, he could get a rest too. Everyone could get a rest. I think if you're trying to second guess who's getting rested, you're going to give yourself a massive headache. I mean, look, Sterling and Sané both played the last game. You think there's more chance now that Mahrez comes in, so one of them could get dropped out. Who is it going to be? We don't know. Sané could drop and Sterling could play left. Maybe Sterling will get, not dropped, but maybe Sterling gets rotated and is fit for the Chelsea game. But let's not forget, after they've played the midweek game, yes, they got another game at the weekend, but for Man City, they play on the 4th, and it's not another game for 4 days later, and then they have a week off. So, I'm not even convinced that Sterling does get arrested, to be honest. Name the 4 midfielders you would have if money was no option. If you had a wild card. I mean, Sané and Sterling would be straight in. I'd probably keep Salah for this week. Then after that, it's a toss-up, really. I'd probably get a Spurs midfielder. I don't think we'd need Salah long term, but you know, if money's no option, I'd probably get Salah. If you're Pep, do you want to start Aguero or Jesus against Chelsea? I mean, why not start? If Aguero's fit for Watford, why not play him there, get some fitness up, and then play him against Chelsea as well? I mean, he's only missed 1 game so far this year in the Premier League. Kane or Aubameyang? I think if I had to pick one, I would probably go Kane. Just because he's definitely going to start. I think that's the big... But then someone's pointed out, I didn't realise Aubameyang had only missed 2 games. I thought he'd missed more than that. That's a tricky one. I think I'd probably still go... It's one of those things where I think... If you asked me to put money on it, if you asked me to put some of my hard-earned money on who would probably do better, probably go Kane, but I might bring in Aubameyang. Triple captain will be using double game week. Plans for Ryan for keep for now. Look in a couple of weeks. As soon as I get a spare transfer, I'll probably transfer Ryan out. Fabianski looks good for the rest of this year. Leno, Arsenal goalkeeper, top 6 goalkeeper for is he still 4.8 million? Yeah. Granted, he's not been scoring many points, but with their fixtures that are coming up, you'd hope he could turn that around. Don't own Aguero, but he looks... I don't think you can bring in Aguero now. You don't know if he's going to start against Watford, and then Chelsea will be difficult. If I still owned Hazard, I'd probably be... Unless I was funding Sterling or Sané this week, I'd probably just keep him for the Wolves game. I'm probably going to bench... Yeah, let me just show you. I'm probably going to bench both of my Wolves players. I currently am. Might play Jimenez though. My 4 mids are Salah, Sterling, Hazard and Sané. I mean, that's pretty sweet, yeah. Not going to lie. Hazard did look pretty good today as well. It's just if you look to alternate your central striker. I mean, the thing is, who says that he's going to alternate them? Do you know what I mean? Jesus got a game because Aguero was injured. That's it. That's all we know at the moment. That Aguero has started 13 game weeks in a row. Didn't play this week because he was injured. There's nothing to say that he's now going to alternate that often. I mean, it could happen, of course. He sounded like he was very happy with Jesus. I wonder if since a lot will chase Aubameyang, Kane, Salah captain could be a savvy differential. I mean, it is a way, of course. You'd probably prefer it to be at home. But Burnley are rubbish, so I'm currently got the captain on him. Delph is a cheap way into the City defence. We talked about this last time. I don't know if you need to actively look to get in on that Man City defence. Personally, I just think you could probably get the similar points in a rotation. Pep's comments about wanting to prevent Aguero getting a long-term injury lead me to think he'll be rotated. Yeah, he might be. I just don't know for sure. I wish I did. I wish I could tell you who's going to be rotated week to week. Make FPL a bit too easy though, wouldn't it? Pep's already said that Jesus is important. I mean, yeah, but he also kind of alluded to the fact that I think was it Bernardo Silva and Gundogan wouldn't be ready, and they were. You think Hazard should be straight in after the Fulham match? Time to say bye to Salah. Yeah, I mean, maybe, but I don't know if Hazard is that much of a better option this week. I mean, an assist, yeah, didn't get anything else. Maybe unlucky not to get anything else, but you know, another game, no goal. Spurs midfielders, discuss. So we kind of already spoken about him a bit. I mean, Eriksen is creating a lot of chances. He's looking pretty good right now. I like Son. It's not that I think Son's a bad option and that I just like him because it's him, but I think he gets into the box more than the rest. He has more shots than the rest. He's had more shots than Kane the last two, more touches in the box than Kane, more shots in the box than Kane. For me, Son is the exciting one. Ali is kind of a mixture of the two. You know, if he gets forward enough, he could be okay. Obviously, Ali and Eriksen, you'd expect them to play more games than Son. How many more? Don't know. Son goes away in January, but that's 7 game weeks away. So I actually do really like Son, and I may go for him this week. Hazard's on about 90 points. What do people want from him? He is, yeah, and that's fine if you've had him from the start. But he got, let's have a look here, 4, 8, 16, 27, 47, 50, 60, 74. He got 74 of his 89 points by game week 8. So since then he's had 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 15 points in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 game weeks. He did miss one of them, so 5 game weeks. So 3 points per game over the last 5 fixtures. So it doesn't really matter what he's done. It's what he's going to do going forward. But again, people like me talking about Arsenal and Spurs fixture swings. City's are still pretty good, and Chelsea's are pretty good too. So if you've got Hazard, I can see why you'd keep on with him. Poch watching Son's minutes. What's he actually said about Son though? And does that necessarily mean rotation, or does it just mean coming off in like 78 minutes? Anderson is essential for the coming games. Not sure about essential, but he is a really good option, yeah. I agree. I would definitely agree with you there, and I think probably people not talking about him enough. Unfortunately, Martial to Anderson does not give me enough money to do Aguero to King. Salah's the one. Holding all my money. Kane was outrun by Socrates today. If you had enough, would you get Sané in for Martial? I've probably already done it, to be honest, if I had enough money. I mean, that's a no-brainer for me, Sané in for Martial. Alonso to Balbuena. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Ranks are updated. I don't know when they'll be updated, but I'll put the website in the chat. This will if you're in the top million, this will pretty much tell you what your rank's going to be. It's very accurate. If you want Sané, why does taking a hit matter? I think the thing with Sané this week is you gotta be aware that he's got that Chelsea game the week after. I don't think that's an easy game. And again, if I do Salah to Sané, it means I've got to keep Martial, and you know, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. I mean, sometimes I'm so actively looking not to keep a player that actually I kind of overlook the fact that it might not be the end of the world if I have to keep him. But I could do Salah to Sané and Aguero to Kane and Captain Kane, but it just doesn't feel, there's something about it, it just doesn't feel right to me. The thing is, you just know that everyone else is going to have Kane captain, and that is it's very hard. It's fear. It's fear of missing out if he does really well. It's a thing, but I'm trying not to play like that too much. Is Chicharito now an option? I mean, I'd like to see if he starts a few more games in a row first. Arsenal just thrashed Spurs. Madness not to have one of their attackers, but that's the same. That's the same Arsenal who didn't they like not smash some poor teams recently. 2 goals against Bournemouth, 1 against Wolves, 1 against Liverpool. They have scored quite a few goals in the other games running up to that. Excuse me. Wow. Oh, excuse me. Thoughts on Spurs defence? Again, like fixtures getting good for them. I think a Spurs defender could be good. I like Trippier because he's going to take set pieces. Foyt is being given a lot of chances at a cheap price. I'd just be worried that he doesn't keep his place longer term. Not even the rotation, just completely dropped. Obviously, Vertonghen's suspended now, so probably okay for now. It's not that bad not owning Salah. But I think Salah's a great captain option this week. So, I'm not against... I know I've been saying this for weeks. I'm not against dropping Salah if I feel like it's the right move. I'd probably be more up for it if Aguero was past fit. I could do Salah and Martial to Son and Sané. And then just play Aguero, basically. Excuse me. Jesus. Said that loads of times. If you haven't already, by the way, vote on the polls. There's 5 and we'll go through them very soon. And hit a like on the stream if you are enjoying it. Be much appreciated. That livefpl.net doesn't do vice captain points when the captain is out. Oh, does it not? It's going to be inaccurate then, isn't it? Yeah, I'm not against dropping Salah, but I don't know if you've been watching. Like when I went through my potential, let's say I drop him this week, right? I can drop him to Sané or Son. I can do a Aguero to Kane or Aubameyang, but then I'm still stuck with Martial. Oh, it does include vice captain points. Okay, great. It's updated, has it? Let's see how accurate I was. Yeah, 11,467. Dead on. Love that website. Maybe I should get Hazard in for Salah. Why not get rid of Salah and Aguero and bring in Sané and Kane? Yeah, could do that for sure. I'm just not completely sure if I want Kane. I mean, essentially then, see, when you put it like that, I'm taking a hit to not captain Salah against Burnley because I want to captain Kane against Southampton. Is that Kane fixture that much better than Burnley away? Just not sure it is. I've only got 1 free transfer. I feel like dropping Salah is only because of price, not form. Yeah, he's been really consistent recently. I personally don't think there's a rush to do it. Not for the next couple of weeks. When we get to Gameweek 17, I think he's got Man United and Man City in the next 4, off the top of my head. Then I'll be looking at him. I mean, Kane, you're betting a lot of money on Kane. You're betting 12.3 million on Kane actually doing something. I I thought he looked good against Chelsea, or looked better. I don't know what other matches I've seen where I thought he looked must-have. He's always got penalties in his locker, of course. But I just don't know about Kane. Anderson has scored 34 points in the last 4 game weeks. If you jumped on his bandwagon, fair play to you. Don't forget the Saints bounce. Flores bounce will. Yeah, well, that's not guaranteed, is it? I mean, I can't even say that Southampton looked good against Man United. Man United would just. Don't want to take too much away from Southampton because it was a really nice goal, the first one, a great free kick, but they were there for the taking. And if it was Man City or Liverpool or even Spurs, they would have scored a lot more. I mean, I did say a few weeks ago, because someone tweeted me saying, I'm going to wait until Kane scores a couple of braces before I get him in. That's obviously the wrong way to play. You're trying to get him in before the haul. So I can completely see why people are looking to bring him in. I don't want to... I can't... It's not that I don't want to. I can't sit here and say he's an awful pick, he's not going to get you points, because he will get points. It's just whether he gets enough to justify 12.3. And like I said earlier, if you're looking to captain him, then that's justification for me. Martial to Anderson. I could just do that, and my team's great if Aguero plays. I honestly think it's fine. Man United have 22 goals this season, which is reasonable. It's a defence. Well, 22 goals in what, 14 games? I don't think it's that great. Camille, thanks very much for the donation. Just a Mendy. You still got Mendy. Oh, you did have Mendy. And Aguero to Zabaleta and Aubameyang, -4. Okay. That seems... I mean, unless you didn't have any defender backups, that seems weird, because you could have done Aguero to Aubameyang for free. Is it worth it to sell Mane, Hazard to Sterling -4? I -8. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I think Hazard and Sterling both play each other in 2 weeks, so I don't know if it's that much needed to take an extra -4. I'm not sure about Mendy to Zabaleta there. But it's done now. My transfer's not happening tonight. Now I'm going to wait on some more Aguero news, although I'm kind of fully aware that we might not get any more or better news. James, how's it going? Did I decide against Kane? No, I don't want to decide against Kane just based on today, to be honest. I'd kind of told myself that I wasn't going to get Kane before Aguero was injured. Aguero has kind of screwed my plans up, to be honest. A lot of people talking about price changes. I've not checked, to be honest. Don't tend to check that often. Okay, let me have a look here. FPL Statistics is the site that I use. So Aubameyang, Felipe Anderson, Trent might actually make some money on Trent. Sané and Pereira at Leicester all look like they're going to rise. Even Robertson maybe. Brooks, Doherty are quite close behind. They might not rise, but they're close. And then drop-in looks like Aguero is going to drop. If you've got Aguero at 11 million, then you will not lose any money because it's 11.5. So he'll go down to 11.4. You'll still have 11.2 to spend. And then Costa at Wolves and Deeney at Watford are looking like dropping too. But you'd have to go and check the site yourself. Once they get to 80% plus for drop-in, they could drop in price. So quite a few players going up. I mean, I'm probably not going to bring in more than 2 of those. 0.2 million. It could hurt me, but I'm going to wait. Duffy, no. Duffy doesn't look like it's going up. Let's have a look. Duffy's on 23%. So no. The thing is, Aguero didn't get arrested this week. He's injured. There's definitely a difference. Another thing I've looked at, by the way, let's just quickly have a look at this, because some people might be considering it, is 5 in midfield. So the problem with this is the same as always. There's no good playing cheap player. Like Success got the start, I think. Yeah, he did. So potentially he could be the one. But I mean, ultimately, he's a load of rubbish. But there you go, 5 in midfield. So the thing is, I don't really want to bring Success in this week. Man City at home. Definitely not going to play him. I would have to play Jimenez against Chelsea instead. Let's say you keep Richarlison for now, and then you just get a Spurs midfielder in. So whoever it might be, let's just say Eriksen because you can afford it. That's another option. So you keep Salah, Sterling, Sané, Richarlison, but obviously you've not got Hazard in that. Having Success is the equivalent of owning a 4.4, 4.5 million mid. Expect nothing. I'm okay with that though. If you want to go 5 in midfield, I'm fine with that because I'm going to have a 4.5 million dud midfielder anyway, so it's no different really. Which means you go big in midfield instead. Or of course you just you get Mr. Patrick. And go Felipe Anderson and Son or whatever it is. There's options, basically, is what I'm saying. Could look at doing that. Oh, you have Success for that very reason. Yeah, fair enough then. Goro, thanks very much for that. Before I pull the trigger, is Kane and Schürrle in for Martial and Aguero better than Kane and Sané for Aguero and Hazard? Without seeing the rest of your team, I'd probably say yes. I just don't know if dropping Hazard now is the best idea, to be honest. So obviously, if you drop Aguero and Hazard, you've still got Martial. You've got to think that sounds very similar to the setup I've got. The problem is, if you've got someone like Salah as well, which you may have, then he's obviously holding all your cash. If you want to get rid of him, then you could upgrade Schürrle, but obviously that's another transfer down the line, so it's something worth thinking about for sure. But looking at just that question, I think Kane and Schürrle makes more sense personally. The third sub almost never comes into play. Yeah, absolutely. You're right. We worry about it too much. Is it worth it to drop Hazard for Son this week? No, I don't think so. Yeah, a few people going for Aubameyang and Kane up front. I'm really interested to see how that works out. Because what you got to remember is obviously Kane is like your Salah, same kind of price. And then Aubameyang, yes, he looks good for 10.9, but who else is that price in midfield? Sterling, Hazard. Will he outscore them? Time will tell, of course, but I think it's very close. Ali versus... I mean, Sané versus anyone right now, Sané pretty much comes out on top unless it's Sterling. So Ali versus Sané, I think Ali could outscore him over the next 2, but once you go further than that, I think Sané wins. And even over the next 2, I mean, Sané could do damage in the next game and then it could be all over. Feels like getting captain right over Christmas is going to be the difference between success and failure. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, I looked in my leagues who did well, they basically had a goalkeeper like Fabianski plus a full set of defenders with clean sheets. And the only reason I kind of kept up with them is because I captained Sterling, whereas they had Salah or Hazard as vice captain. Obviously, the difference between Hazard and Sterling wasn't massive, but it's still 6 points. So that's kind of, yeah, picking captain, I've said it loads of times before, it either makes a good week great or what was looking like a bad week okay. Alright, we're going to do the polls in just a couple of minutes because we've already been going well over an hour. So you've got one or two more minutes to vote on the polls, and then we'll do them. Just ate dinner. Nice stream. I hope you enjoyed your dinner. I had nachos for dinner. They were so good. The poll's in the top right hand corner. You got to click the little eye. Either hover over or click into it. I think someone said you have to have captions on for it to work. The moustache is gone. Movember is over. We're on a beard regrowth, but as you can see, it takes a while. It takes a long time. Our homemade nachos. So nice. As a non-Wilson owner, do you fear not owning? I don't fear it, no. Nope, nope, nope. I don't know. I mean, yeah, okay, could get a hat-trick or something, but I don't know. I'm not fearful of him. I got to be honest, I didn't watch the whole of the Chelsea game because I was out, but the bit I watched, it wasn't nice watching without Hazard. Just like it wouldn't be nice watching Liverpool without Salah. But at the same time, I've got no Spurs players right now. I've got no Sané, so you can't have everyone. Should have kept the tash. Honestly, it was off as quick as I could. I did look. I know someone was mentioning it earlier. I did look at Fraser or Brooks in for Martial to fund Aguero to Kane. So I'm not completely against that. In fact, I mean, I think the maths works. Still, Brooks is still very cheap. Although I wasn't too happy that he missed last game. I know they kind of changed it up because it was a tough fixture, but obviously he's only 5.1, so he's not far off. He's not far off kind of 4.5 million midfielder dud. So let's say you get Kane in. Dun, dun, dun. Obviously, this is all extra transfers, but you know, next week maybe you don't want Salah. I think I can afford Sané plus a 9.6, so I could get a Spurs midfielder in, and then Brooks or Jimenez would become my, you know, or one of Brooks, Richarlison or Jimenez would be rotated week to week. So that is another option. Brooks would basically become my fifth midfielder, essentially. That's something I looked at as well. But this, I mean, going about Sané for another week. Now, I probably wouldn't want Sané in the week after because it's Chelsea away. But after that, yeah, we'd be looking at it for sure. I feel like going for someone like Brooks and Kane is just slow because it's not really what I want to do. What I want to do is unlock that Salah money. I just don't want to do it before Burnley away. So I just feel it's slow at a time where I need to react quick. So there's so much going to change over the next few weeks. No, I think from what I read, he just didn't start because they changed formation and kind of, it was just tactical because they were playing a tough game. Could be wrong. I don't think he was injured though. Alright, let's do the polls, because there's quite a few. He is a great enabler, and I just want Son. Do you know what? I just want Son, and I might just do it, because I like him that much. And he's 0.5% owned in the top 10k. Could almost be tempted to captain him. The only thing that would put me off captaining him is, differently to Sterling, for example, and there's nothing to say this won't happen to Sterling as well. Just because it hasn't so far doesn't mean that it won't. But if Son doesn't start, he will almost certainly come on. Whereas Sterling hasn't started twice and he's not come on in both those games. So that's the kind of thinking there. But so he's Son captain. I mean, that's a big differential. Okay, polls. Let's have a look here. Doom, 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 doom. What's up, Shani? Where are we at? Oh, yeah. Okay, Kane, Aubameyang, or Aguero. Kane, unsurprisingly, wins 47%, but Aubameyang close behind on 43%. Aguero only on 9%. Best Spurs midfielder, 48% of you think Son. I wonder how much I was persuaded of that. I'm not... would people have said that? 48%. I'm a bit surprised he's that far ahead. Ericsson, 31%, and only 20% for Ali. Your Game Week 15 captain, 39% of you are captain in KANE. I mean, that is a bit of a worry. I know he's going to be captained by a lot of the people around me. 24% for Salah, 22% on Sterling, Mr. Consistent, 3% on Aguero and 9% on someone else. So KANE looks to be winning right now. Who to ditch first, Hazard or Salah? 63% saying Hazard. Keeping Salah a bit longer. Not sure about that, although Salah does have... Next two fixtures are probably better for Salah. And then lastly, should we go for more than one premium striker? 70% of you say no. You shouldn't go for more than one. I think Son's is price led. Yeah, it could be. I think obviously the factor with Son is that he's not. You'd again, if you had to bet money, you'd say that Son would get less minutes than Ericsson and Ali. If they're both guaranteed to start, I think Son can outscore him. You should grow a beard. I'm on it. It just takes time. Just takes time, you know. Gabriel Jesus is a good option up front. I wouldn't be going there. There's just, I mean, if Aguero was out long term, maybe, but I think that's too risky. And you know, Aguero, apart from injury this week, has started every game of the league. Son looks a bigger goal threat than any of the other Spurs players. I agree, and I think he's a really good option. It's just his minutes. That's the thing you're concerned about. They've got genuine other options that could play. Well, I think he's the best. Oh, you got David Silva in. Ouch, I'm sure you weren't the only one. Mane's out with foot injury. Yeah, I've read that. We'll have to wait and see if there's more news on that one. Oh, someone's DM'd me asking if Lucas Torreira is a good option. Or an option. Okay, so someone's tweeting me, FPL Kneejerk, at Kneejerk FPL. Salah has blanked in the last 6 of 11 game weeks. That's quite a lot. And the last 4 out of 6 away. Granted, he has Burnley away next, but with fixture turns for KANE, Lacazette and Aubameyang and Sterling's form, surely no one can justify owning Salah after Wednesday. Could be right. You were trying to think of differentials and therefore convincing yourself around Son. Not at all, to be honest. I just think Spurs are good options. There should be good options going forward. If I don't go KANE, then I might look at a midfielder. And I think if Son plays, he'll do really well. If I had to put my house on it, do I think Aguero starts? I would not be putting my house on that, no. There's a nice way of putting it. Son isn't a better footballer than Ericsson, but he's 100%. I don't know if it's 100%, but a better FPL asset. There's nothing more than I hate. There's nothing I hate more than watching my attacking mids not getting in the box when the opposition is sitting deep. I mean, Son does get a lot of touches in the box. Jamie Jackson just tweeted Aguero is available for Watford. That's a bit of a game changer. Did he actually just tweet that, or was it just what he tweeted earlier about him training? Let me have a look. No, it's the same thing he said 6 hours ago. Is on track to be available. I don't know what the big deal is with Jamie Jackson. Like, he obviously tweets what info he gets, and it turned out to be wrong before it was right this time. Like, I don't know. It's people make it out like he's doing it to like try and tarnish their FPL teams, but I don't know. If he tweets what info he's got, fair enough. If Aguero will play keeping, we don't know if he definitely will. How many games will Son miss for the Asia Cup? Obviously, it depends how... I don't know exactly how long the tournament is. I think it's for most of January, but it depends how far they get, of course. But there is an international... not an international break, like an FA Cup break in January. He's a journalist. I'm sure he doesn't care about FPL. I don't know. I'd say a lot of journalists care about FPL. Come on, he's not that bad. KANE or Aubameyang? Yeah, we talked about that a lot. I think I'm gonna leave the stream here, a bit longer than normal, and I think most of the big questions we talked about kind of gone through already. I think there's concerns over Aubameyang, maybe for this week because Man United. Although granted, Man United have been beyond awful, so it might not be the worst game for him. Talks about KANE, Man City. Everyone's sleeping on Man City assets all of a sudden. Maybe you've all got them in. Can you just do a live transfer for Son? No live transfers. I need to work out what I'm doing. There's too many ifs and buts and worries. Is John Stones an option? I mean, he's not been played in the last 2 games, so he's absolutely not an option for me. Son's excluded from the first 2 rounds of the Asia Cup. You sure? Match of the day's on, yeah, fair enough. Enjoy that. We can do 5 minutes. 5 minutes talk about whatever. We'll end the FPL stuff here. How's the gym going? Gym's going pretty well. I finally joined up to a different gym now where I can kind of come and go as I please. I went there this morning at like 11 AM. I was the only person in the gym for about half an hour. It was amazing. So yeah, it's going pretty well, to be honest. I did more deadlifts today. I'm not sure you're supposed to do deadlifts two days in a row, but I did 80 kgs today. I think I can do more. Yeah, we'll see. I need to work out a plan though. The problem with going without a personal trainer is you don't have someone to tell you what to do. So I was it was almost like the novelty of being in the gym in my own. There's loads of stuff I could use that I kind of used a bit of everything. They got a punching bag. I absolutely love punching bags. So good. Then I did 1,000 meters on the rowing machine afterwards. All in all, it was tiring but good. Deadlifts once a week. Yeah, I won't do them 2 days in a row. Honestly, it was just the novelty that I was in for the second day. So yeah, I probably won't do. I probably won't do that again. I won't go 2 days in a row. If I go 2 days in a row, I won't do the same moves. It honestly was. It was just novelty. Have I put my decorations up? Yes, they've been up for a week. We put them up last Saturday. Why did you quit the Scoutcast? I don't know. That makes it sound so. That almost makes it sound like it was like not by choice or for bad reason. But I just wanted more time in the evenings. But for the 3 or 4 people that missed me on the Scoutcast, I will be back this Wednesday. Back. I think it's me, Luke, Az, and Joe. Squats and deads twice a week. I do like squats. Do like them. I recommend doing anything you can to everyone. Yeah, but I basically the plan right now will be, because I can kind of come and go as I please to this new gym. I'll probably try and go every other day, or at least 3 times a week, every other day if I can. And then I do half an hour walk every day at work, Monday to Friday, and then usually a bit extra on the weekends. Do you do any finger exercise at the gym so you can make fast FPL transfers? I do not. I'm afraid. I'm actually going to be on the Scoutcast twice before Christmas. You stay up until 4 AM to watch these streams. You're a madman. You can watch tomorrow. Did I get anything decent for Black Friday? I bought a new PS4 Pro. Can we get Mark back on the Skycast? I'm sure he'll probably go on before the end of the season, but I don't know I don't think, he's not going to be actively on. We know that. Aguero last scored away from home last Wednesday. Exactly. Not in the league, maybe. How to figure out the average of your weekly FPL scores? Well, whatever your total points are, just divide them by 14 weeks, because that's how many game weeks we've had. So actually, what's mine? 901 divided by 14. I'm averaging 64.3 points. I'm telling you, I'm going to win FPL this year, I've decided. Half an hour walk, not enough. Well, yeah, but I'm at work. It's fine. I mean, half an hour walk is better than 0 minutes of walk. If you're on wildcard, which goalkeeper pair would you choose? It's hard to say. I've not looked at goalkeeper pairings. So off the top of my head, it's really hard to say. But I'd probably choose Fabianski and whoever rotates with him. What do I play on PS4? Right now, I just play Call of Duty pretty much. Call of Duty Blackout. Honestly, I've loved. I like doing the walks. It makes you surprisingly fit, at least compared to what I was. You got a new hair and beard clipper set. Nice. You'll sort your hair and beard out. Definitely needs doing. There's not going to be much left soon, to be honest. It keeps receding. COD and stream. No stream for me tonight. I'm going to go and record a video probably in a minute. Yeah, no, that's how I've been working out my average. I've been doing it a few times the last few weeks just to see how I'm tracking. Yeah, 64.3 is decent. I'm happy with that. You've got a car, yeah, that happens for sure. I actually had a friend who once said to me he wasn't going to join a gym until he had a car, because he didn't want to walk down, which I just thought was hilarious. All the gym stuff is a waste of time if you don't eat properly and watch what you eat. Water and dry fasting. Yeah, I mean, by the way, Ian, I know I've said it before. I did see your message. Basically, your message got caught by the spam filter on YouTube, and with all those spam messages, I either delete them or I hide the user so they can't post anymore because they're just talking rubbish. I've actually kept yours unread because I keep meaning to email you and say thanks for reaching out and offering. I just haven't got around to it. I know it was ages ago, so I do apologise. I read about water and dry fasting a lot. Like, for example, I don't do 16 hours or more at the moment. I have done it. I've done it where I finish eating at 8 and I don't eat till 12 the next day. Right now, I basically skip. I'm up at 6:30, 20 to 7. I don't eat until about nearly 10 a.m, 9:30, 10 a.m. So yeah, I'm not killing myself to eat straight away in the morning, but I'm not doing 16 hours plus yet. Although I might try it soon. Basically, water fast is you don't eat, you just drink water, and dry fast is you have nothing pretty much. Eat early in the morning. Honestly, I've stopped doing that because as soon as you eat, I feel like I then have to eat the next meal quicker. Whereas a few months ago, a few weeks or maybe a month or two, I stopped eating as soon as before I left the house, and I just don't feel hungry. I just drink water in the morning. So it's just cutting out calories I just don't need. No point fasting or whatever. Yeah, but to be honest, I actually find from a lifestyle change, when you just don't eat, you just carry on doing what you're doing in life. I've done the one, like I said, I've done the one where you finish at 8 p.m. and you don't eat again until 12 p.m. So that would be 16 hours. I've done that. What I found with it is just generally, you're just surprised at how little you actually have to eat sometimes. If you exercise, there's no need to diet. I don't know if that's true. It depends when you say. Honestly, I could do a whole stream talking about this. I think it depends when you say no need to diet, because some people, just by the way they eat, just eat okay anyway. So you're probably right. But for me, that's not the case. I can't just exercise. I have to sort the food too. I don't know if I could do a 24-hour fast. Don't know if I could do that. I think that's hard. If you eat good, there's no need to exercise. See, I suppose you're half right. Like, the food is what drops the weight, really. But the exercise, you just feel better, honestly. Look better. The way I do it right now, we'll see how sustainable it is, but I've been doing it for months. So after Christmas, basically my biggest hurdle now is going away at Christmas, not really worrying too much about what I eat, and then coming back and getting back into the training side of things and eating. So that's kind of my next biggest hurdle. But I'm basically super strict during the week, Monday to Friday, and then I don't worry too much on weekends. That's kind of how I've been handling it, and how I've what's working for me basically. Super chat should work. What's the point in dieting when the diet isn't long term? Yeah, no, I mean, I know what you're saying, but you can change your diet. That doesn't necessarily mean you're dieting. Like, I'm not doing Weight Watchers or Slim World. I'm just eating better and eating less. Try smaller amounts of what you normally eat for Christmas. Honestly, this might change when I get to a lower weight, and I've got to be a bit more strict about what I eat. But honestly, I'm doing all the training now. I'm doing it in December to carry on and not have to wait until January to get into it. I don't want to be that guy, but I'm doing all the work and the good eating and the training now. So when I go for Christmas, I don't give a, I just don't care. I'll just eat whatever. I don't want to eat smaller amounts. I want to enjoy Christmas and then come back to it afterwards. Have I tried child portions? Hell no. Ain't happening. Come on. Why are we talking about this instead of food? I mean, it doesn't have to, instead of football, it doesn't have to be this. I kind of already said the FPL stuff's done. We've done a lot of FPL talk. Depends if you want to be functional or just drop weight. But if you're busting a gut with hard cardio, you shouldn't need to watch the diet. It's quite logical. I basically just want to do both. I just want to generally day to a day, eat better, and also exercise. Make sure you enjoy what you eat, for sure. Like, when I first started this back in April, I made up these, it was like this healthy curry, and I took it to work, and it was one of the most disgusting things I've ever eaten. And I had 3 more to eat for the rest of the week, and I just said to myself, if you force yourself to eat this, you'll stop before you've even started. So I binned them all, and the next day I had Uncle Ben's rice and just chicken breasts that were marinated from the butchers, and I ate that like every day for a month or two, and it was great. But the chicken curry I made was so horrible. You're off to do a workout, good man. Any thoughts on the Tyson Fury fight? I'm not really the biggest boxing fan. I didn't see it. Sounded like he should have won, though. It's not a difficult formula. Eat less, move more. Yeah, pretty much. Do you have a cheat day? I kind of relax. I started off kind of trying to be good most days. Now I'm really strict during the week, so I have nothing when I get up, porridge when I get to work, salad for lunch, nuts, couple of nuts and an apple before I go home, and then whatever we have for dinner, always homemade. So that's Monday to Friday. I pretty much eat that every day, and I've done that for months. And then on weekends I kind of relax a bit more, but to be honest, I started relaxing for the whole weekend. Whereas now I tend to still have porridge on a Saturday, Sunday, and I'd probably be pretty good for lunch. So that in the evening, if I want to have something bad or whatever, then I will. Yeah, we're coming to the end of the stream, basically. Well, the stream's finished for FPL. We've done like well over an hour for that. Eating the same food can cause an allergy. Well, I'm going to be allergic to salads and porridge soon. Do you crave bread? No, never crave bread. Just not bothered about bread at all. I mean, cakes, there's always going to be a craving for cakes and sugar, right? Being a little bit overweight is fine. I don't want to be, though. Don't want to be a little bit overweight. Clothes are fitting better. I'm not confident enough to put it out yet on Twitter, but I've got a picture of me with a shirt on that I bought ages ago. One of these shirts that you buy and that one day you'll fit into it. And never did, and it's basically got one button done up, and honestly, I don't know how that button didn't pop. And I've got another pitch now where it's all done up and it fits fine. So that's great. I don't know about that in a year's time. Yeah, this is definitely on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, I should really do a separate stream for this, to be honest. Different channel or something. Talk about it for hours. Alright, we'll leave it there. Because I'm sure people over... you already look much better. Just saying you don't need a 20-inch waist. I know, but I've lost 4.5 now. And put it this way, even if I lost another 4.5, I would still have more to lose. And I'm not really setting myself a long-term goal, because it's miles away, and we'll just go short-term. Like right now, you know, my England shirt I can't even wear out is now starting to feel pretty good. So that's kind of short-term goals. Long-term goals, there's loads of way to go, but not worrying about that too much. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Maybe we'll do, I don't know, like a gym personal stream one day. But that day is not tonight. What you've just had is what you're going to get. So yeah, we'll leave it there. Thanks very much. Good luck in Gameweek 15. Obviously, there's only going to be one stream this week. I'll be on the Scoutcast on Wednesday, so you'll find out our scores as we come in. And on Thursday, I'll be streaming again before Gameweek 16, and there'll be videos in between as well. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate all the chat, FPL or otherwise. And catch you next time. Like the stream.